Hi everybody, welcome back to Elite Dangerous. This is tutorial 2. I'm just going to go through the tutorials and show you what to do from a complete noob's perspective using the mouse and keyboard as a control mechanism. So yeah, let's crack on. This is a target practice, which is the second tutorial. You don't actually need to move around very much in this tutorial. Basically what it's trying to teach you is the targeting mechanism. So you can see we've got a canister in range there. It's showing up with the white dotted in behind. So I'm just going to use the T key to target it, and then we can use the U key to deploy hard points, which is basically deploy your weapons, and obviously the left mouse button to fire. And it's done. So then we can just spin round, we can target another one, and we can shoot that. And then there's another one up here, we can target that. Need to get it into the centre of the reticule before we can fire at it. That one's down. And then there's another one up here. Oh, there's one here. Target that. One down here. Weapons are reloading. It's that one. A couple more, and we're done. Let's target that. And target that. Got one more somewhere. We can see that on the radar there. That's the white dot. We just pitch up a little bit. Target that with T. Fire with mouse 1. And it's done. Sweet. Okay, tutorial 3 is basic combat. Now, you need to do a bit more flying in this, so it might be a bit of a laugh from my perspective, but we will see how we get on. Once again, mouse and keyboard. Explaining what controls we need to do. So let's just accelerate up to some maneuverable speed. We can see the target there, so let's use T to target. Oh, we've got it in target. Okay. Now we need to deploy our weapons, which is U, and this time we're using pulse lasers. So let's get the target in and have a shot at it. Now, a couple of things you can see here is as soon as you start to attack in it, the target turns red, and down in the left hand side there's information about the target, what you know, if anything, about the target. So we just got to try and follow it around, bit of a dogfight. It's a bit of a, I must say, I find the combat with the mouse and keyboard quite difficult. But it's doable, just need to pitch and roll. We're at a sensible speed as well, so nice on fire. Let's try and keep it inside the reticule, keep firing. Whoa. Slow down a bit, get them right on top of it. Speed up a smidge. Oh, can't be too much more of it left. Where are we? Going backwards actually. Oh, we're going backwards. We don't want to be reversing, we want to be going forwards. Let's pick up a bit of manoeuvrable speed again. Find the targets over there. That's better. Got it. Destroyed. So that tutorial is just teaching you about targeting and, you know, manoeuvring in combat. Okay, so this is tutorial 4, which is travel, which teaches you about the super cruise, hyperspace, and the frame shift drive. Now I'm going to very slowly go through the launch sequence again, because obviously in my last video I messed that up slightly. So I'm going to choose return to surface with the WNS keys and space to select it. And then basically one of the problems I was having was I was pitching and rolling when I was on the launch pad. So basically I make sure all the throttles are down. I'm not touching any of the buttons. And I'm not holding my mouse. So I'm going to press launch, select launch, just launch. Pitch up a bit, and then use the R key to do some vertical thrust. Bring myself away from the pad, and then just accelerate out of the docking bay with W. And you need to be heading for the side with the green lights there. Obviously it's not too important in the tutorials, but I'm sure it'll be important in the real game. So we'll just head up through there. And we'll roll back so we're a bit level. And we're going to use a bit of yaw right to straighten ourselves up, which is D. And then we'll just drift out of the gate, try and correct our roll on our pitch, and there we go. And then we'll put the throttle down and accelerate away from the station. This tutorial is quite good because it does give you a bit more instruction about what keys to use. So it's telling us we've got to be 5 kilometers away to leave mass lock, and it's also saying the landing gear must be retracted. In the bottom right hand corner you can see that we're still mass locked because it's highlighted blue, and the landing gear is still down. So if we use the insert key, the landing gear comes up, and subsequently our velocity increases as well, which is good. And then we just need to wait for mass locked to change before we can engage the super cruise. So you press J for the frame shift drive, and initially what that'll do is that'll increase your speed in system. Now let's try and find a reference point. So let's fly around. We should have a planet. We'll just keep that in the top of our view there, and you can see how slowly we're going towards it. Now I'm going to engage the frame shift drive. J, drive charges, and 4, 3, 2, 1, engage. So this is in system, and so you can see that the planet's going up past us at a much faster rate now. So you can travel around in system using the Super Cruise drive. It thinks we're a bit close to the planet, but we should be okay. So what we need to do now is we need to use Hyperspace to get to another system, and we need to do that on the Galaxy map or the Galaxy information pages. So we need to select the UI mode, which is mouse 3. So press the mouse wheel down, and then move left to change the UI view over here. And then once again these, it's WAS and D to navigate around these, and we need to select the destination. So D and then S to move down, space, and it gives us some options. So we can just lock destination, or we can lock and engage hyperdrive. So let's lock and engage hyperdrive. Drive charging. And then mouse 3 again to look forward. But we need to be looking at our targets before we can jump. And you can see the target on the blue map, and also on the main map as well. And as soon as you're pointing roughly at it, it enables the hyperdrive and jumps you to the new system. Now it's dropped us out right by a star, which we need to avoid, so let's just roll around and pitch up over the star. Make sure that passes us by quite quickly. That's good. And then we need to choose, because we're in a new system now, we need to choose our destination in this system. So we've got to, once again, mouse 3 to go into the UI mode and move over. And then we need to go to the destination station, so WAS and D again, destination station space, and lock destination. And then mouse 3 again to zoom back. But obviously we've got to be pointing at our destination as well, which will help. So let's just bring that into view. So up here, to slow down slightly, so let's use S to slow down, and that'll give us a chance to explain how we can safely disengage the frameshift drive. On the left hand side there you can see that we've got our destination station and how many light seconds away it is and how many real game seconds that is, and we've got two meters, the distance meter and a speed meter. Now both of those meters need to be in the blue before we can disengage the frameshift drive, and you'll see in a second that there's a yellow bar which starts from the right hand side and works its way towards the blue. And we need to slow down a little bit more because we're getting way too close. So there's the distance bar, it's just popped into view, which is good, so we need to get that down into the blue. And hopefully the speed bar will drop us down in soon. I do tend to find that you need to speed up a little bit sometimes to drop the distance and the speed appropriately, but we'll see. The distance is coming down nicely, that's good, and now the speed's coming down as well. So the speed's coming down nicely, actually it's coming down closer towards the distance, so that's good. So you just need to keep your eye on those meters and obviously keep the destination roughly in your reticle, and we'll just watch those come back down. And obviously you've got a fair degree of error with the speed. You've got 4 or 5 bars there, but you've got to get the distance within 2 bars for it to drop you right by the target. Let's move around slightly, keep the destination in front of us. We can probably accelerate a little bit to speed this up a bit. 10 game seconds. The distance is coming down, the speed's coming down okay as well, we should be alright. The speed's coming down, the distance isn't coming down quickly enough, the speed's really close now, so let's just speed up a little bit, bring the distance down. So the speed's coming into the blue, so that's good. So that's in the blue now, which is fine. And the distance is coming down into the blue as well. And as soon as they're both in the blue, we can use the J key to drop out of Super Cruise. Whoops. And there we go. Safe to disengage. J. And that should drop us smack off by the destination, which is obviously our station there. And there we are. Dropped off at a sensible cruising speed right by the station. So now what we need to do is find the entrance and dock. So let's just see if we can find the entrance. I'm a bit rubbish at finding the entrance to the docking station. To the docking station. So I'm going to put a link to a video for a guy who's much more expert at it. You can check it out and follow his instructions on how to find the entrance. Now I'm just going to fly around the station until I can find something that looks like the main docking bay. Quite close there. Really close there. Now on the original Elite, the docking bay entrance always used to point towards the planet. I'm not actually sure if that's the case anymore. I'm just going to fly around randomly until I see something useful. And there's the planet. Okay, so let's head towards the planet. Bit of acceleration, keeping away from the station. Whoa! then let's slow down and pitch up and see what we can see this way. We're going to still be quite close to the station, I think. I don't know what it is about finding the entrance, but yeah, I do find this really tricky. I'm going to have to check that video out I've linked so you guys can see where it is. Because I need to get some lessons as well. Whoa, right, way close to the station. Whoa. Let's come away from the station slightly, and then I'll slow down, and then pitch it back up so we can see what we're looking at. And there's the entrance there. That's where those floating billboards are. So let's head round that side. That's cool. We need to request docking as well. So let's get the docking bay in view before we do that. Slow down. And to get let's back off slightly, shall we? So let's S to reverse thrust. A bit too close, but at least we're lined up now. And let's come to a halt with X. And then we need to go into the UI mode to request docking. So M3, and then look to the left. And we need to navigate across the contacts with E, destination station, request docking.
Request granted.
Docking granted, and so we can move in. We need to be on the side with the green lights, which I'm not sure what that's over this side. Good. Slow down a little bit. Adjust, and we need to do a bit of lateral thrust to get us in. Slow down, and we're on docking pad 36. So let's use a bit of lateral thrust with E to line up with that, and then head down towards the docking pad. Slow down. A bit more lateral thrust to bring us level. Slow down. And let's try and pitch up so that we're about level, and then start to lower down with vertical thrust. No, we haven't got the landing gear up, so let's press insert for the landing gear, and we need a bit of lateral thrust to bring us in more towards the middle with E, and then a bit more downward thrust for F, and we should come down roughly on the pad, a bit forward a little bit. And now we're docked.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
There we go, guys. I hope that was helpful. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers.